Artist, you're getting your clay back. You've already painted it. This is an example of one that my son had actually made a couple years ago when I painted it. And I've already painted, I have a picture to show you that, and this is Mod Podge. Mod Podge is used, you've probably heard of it before, it's used for sealing, and this has a gloss finish to it. So I started this and I wanted to show you how white it looks. That's what you want. And I have them in I put them in Play-Doh containers. When you're done at the end, make sure that there's nothing on the edge if you can. That goes in the trash, please. Put the lid back on it very carefully. Make sure it's snapped, and you'll have to share this with the shoulder buddy. And these brushes will have to go inside warm, soapy water, and they'll actually have to go face down and sit in it because this is kind of like glue. I know we don't usually leave Miss Paula in the water, but in this case, see how I'm dipping, I'm just kind of putting a lot on, making sure I'm getting in those grooves. These red paint brushes are Miss Paula's that are old that we really don't use. I save them for stuff like this. This is what you painted because clay has a harder surface and it has a tendency to, when you're painting on it with your watercolors like we did, or some of you are doing acrylic, it's a rough surface and it destroys the bristles. So I'm going to cover the whole thing. Now what I want you to be aware of is you don't want to paint the bottom because with the Mod Podge. If you painted it with regular paint, that's no big deal. But you don't want it to stick. And this is already going to stick a little bit. You're going to have a piece of cardstock. You're going to put your name on it. And I'm going to paint all the way around. Your hands might get a little bit on there. That's okay. Make sure you get into the grooves. And I'm going to pick this up. Now, underneath where his little smile is, you can go ahead and do that. But don't do on the bottom of the surface because it will stick. Then you will put your brush in the sink down inside a container of soapy water that I'll have it in, okay? And you're going to put your lid together. You might get a little bit on your fingers if you rub it around. It's kind of like glue. It's magic, and it'll go away. You can wash them if you need to. But what I want you to be aware of is carry this to the counter or where I have you put them. I haven't decided because we're going to run out of space. And you can leave it on the paper, okay? So you're going to be very careful. Now you just want to make sure that you're supporting it with both your hands, okay? Because if you drop your clay project, you will not be able to have another one. Now, this will dry, so you'll get that back the next class period, okay? And see how I didn't paint the bottom? I had a little bit of paint on there that actually got through, but this is not shiny, and the rest of it is shiny, okay? So it just gives it a nice seal of the paint, and this one was painted with temper cakes. So that's your instructions on how to do Mod Podge. Artist, you've got your clay back today. The first firing that I did,